So continuing with the lazy stitch, you see I've made my way all around. I did the turquoise blue over the brown, then I did the white over the turquoise, and so I went all the way around almost, well, a little bit over a full row in the white, and I love how that looks. You'll notice that I added beads in 4 areas just to give it a different look. So now I'm flipping back to the turquoise because I thought that would look really pretty over the white. So I'm going to show you a new stitch called the Mariposa Stitch, or Mariposa in Spanish. So Mariposa means butterfly. Mariposa is a butterfly. So this is the butterfly Mariposa, whatever you want to call it, stitch. It's composed of the lazy stitch where you wrap, you continue wrapping, and then you take a long stitch, just like you did before in the lazy stitch, and you try not to tangle your thread. So I've been taking 2 stitches just because I like the bolder look of the colors on top of each other. So what makes it the Mariposa stitch is you come from the back, and you go through the middle of the top coil that you're working on and the second coil. Come from the back on the left-hand side, then go over to the right, like you do kind of in the tie stitch, but it's just 1 stitch across, and then you continue wrapping. So we'll wrap a little bit. I need to add a, if I can add one in here, push it apart, get in there, nope. Why are you fighting me? There you go, snug. So we'll continue wrapping. Now this is going to be a long stitch. I could add one here. I might do that. I think it'll look good. It'll match the other side better. So let's go ahead and do the lazy stitch. My fingers aren't working that good tonight. And remember, I went through twice. So I like this boldness. I like the colors to really show on top. So then you come through the back. Now I'm flipping it over so you could see what's happening. Come between the top row and the second row. Between the coils there, right next to that stitch. From the left to the right, pull it over and create that little button right there, or knob. It's just like a little knot. Okay. So we will keep going. So I'm just trying to match it up to the other side. There were just too much space between. So see, as we got closer to the beads, I took a few more stitches just to make it a brighter pattern. Otherwise, there'd be a large empty white space there. So I'll keep wrapping. I feel like my little pine needle coils kind of getting flimsy. And I am going to make it to that first bead, I think. And there we go. I think I could just make it. So just like the lazy stitch, you go down at the bottom of the lower coil. And again, I'm going to go around twice because I want to keep that color popping there. The turquoise on the white looks gorgeous. So then you come from the back, right where your thread is going down, your long stitch. Come out through the front. You're on the left-hand side of that long stitch. Pull it over, create a little knot or tie, and then continue moving on. Continue wrapping. So here, I need to change thread. I'm running out of thread. So the way you do that is the same way you do when you wrap with any other thread. Go through the center so you can tighten it down. And then I will get the new thread. Hopefully this is all on camera. I can't see with this upside down. So some of the things I do like about working with this artificial sinew is it you can thread it really easy because it flattens really nice. The other thing I do is I split it twice, but I split it, I only use 1 arm's length because it could get tangled when you're splitting it. And it's just easier if I use 1 arm's length as opposed to 2 arm's length. It's a lot longer piece. I tend to get it more tangled. Same thing with the 2-ply wax thread, but this seems to tangle a little bit easier than that. So I've been working with it with 1 arm's length as opposed to 2. And this is a small basket, so I haven't had to change the thread very much, so it hasn't been a problem. But so you see how I do that? I just start the new thread, bury the tails in here, and I'll just start wrapping right over the top, just like I do in my regular baskets with my 2-ply wax thread. The other thing I really like about it, as I've said before, it lays flat, so you get a lot of coverage. You get a lot of coverage quicker, especially if you're wrapping. That's kind of a plus. And these, I love this bright color. I don't seem to pick up as much dust. I don't know if there's not as much wax on it or why, but it doesn't seem to grab onto stuff. So then again, I'm going to go right here, just between the bead. I'm just going right about center. Just trying to maintain my pattern that I created on the other side. And I still do kind of snug stuff up like I do with regular wax thread. And I'm going to pull that down tight. I am going to go through twice on this stitch. I guess if I wanted to make it thicker, you know, the long stitch, I could have just left the sinew whole and used the thickest one, and you can certainly do that. A lot of people shred this into 3 pieces. I just did it with 2 pieces. So, okay, so now that's our lazy stitch. We went down for the long stitch. We are going to come from the back, right up next to your long stitch, come out through the front, on the left side, pull it over and create that knot. And then you're going to continue wrapping. So same as the lazy stitch, except you come back to front around the long stitch. I guess I could show you one more time because I'm really close to that next bead. So maintaining my pattern, your pattern might be different. This is my pattern. Everybody has their own patterns that they like, so, and that's what's cool about it. Everybody can do what they want. Going through twice, just like I did before. That's the long stitch after the wrap. That's your lazy stitch. Now you come back to front. On the left side, around and over, and continue your wrapping. And that is the Mariposa stitch with the little knot in it. So here you have the Mariposa. See how it's kind of tied down? And here is the regular lazy stitch that goes over the top. And I really like this look with the Sinew. It really accentuates the different colors. It works really well in this type of a basket. So I'm looking forward to working with this more. This is the first basket I've actually created with this. So I am learning, and I'm learning my likes and dislikes, but I really like it. And I love the colors, of course, with this little basket. So I'm going to get all the way around this row with the Mariposa stitch and then decide what color I'm going to use next. And I'm going to show you the Samoan. And that's the Samoan or Samoan lace stitch. Okay. And that's basically the same thing, but you're going through this tie or the long stitch, you're going around it 2 or 3 times, whatever you choose to do. So I'll show you that in a few minutes. Thanks for watching.